guys, what's up? Glenn here. So look, check it out, guys. I had brought a drone off of Temu. It was actually this one. I bought it off of Temu, right? Now, it's a long story, but anyway, I brought it off of Temu, and I flew it for about maybe one round. Hold on, baby. I flew it off for about one round, and then all of a sudden, the motor, the blade propeller where the motor is, it stopped. It just kind of stopped working. You know what I'm saying? It stopped spinning, and it stopped moving and stuff like that. So now prior to this, I had a drone already. That was broken. It was broken. One of the motors, well, one of the propellers on it stopped working. However, the motor still was fine. It was a gear issue for this one. It was a gear issue. But for the one I got off of Temu, the actual motor stopped moving. Don't know why. But I got one good fly out of it, and it was pretty good. So instead of like getting upset and this, that, and the third, I realized that these two drones are exactly the same. They're called the E88, okay? Now, I'm not gonna say they're the best drone in the world, but they're cheap little drones that you get to play around with and practice with and hone your skills with basic functionality, things of that. And it doesn't have GPS or nothing like that, but it has that optical flow positioning. If you have the one with the camera on the bottom, the one without the camera on the bottom, which was the one I got off of Temu. Now the one with the camera, hush, man, it's like children, I swear. But anyway, the one with the camera on the bottom, the one I had first, when I got it, it didn't work because I got it, from somebody. They just gave it to me, and I was just like, oh, I'll hold on to it. Lo and behold, I ended up getting one off of Temu that turns out to be the same thing, except the one off of Temu don't have the camera at the bottom. It only has the front camera, which is right here. That's only the front camera. It does not have a bottom camera. Now, the one that I had gotten from someone, per se, this one actually has a bottom camera. There you go, a bottom camera right there, and a front camera, which means this one can do the optical flow positioning. But anyway, but the point of this video is to show you guys that, where there's a will, there's a way. So I just disassembled both of these. I should have made the disassembly a part of the video, but it didn't hit me until after I got finished with the disassembly. I was like, oh snap, maybe I should just show everybody this, But anyway, so I disassembled both of them, okay? And I took the good motor. No, not the motor. The gear, yes. I took the good gear out of this one because in this one, the motor stopped working. The gears were fine. I took the good gear out of this one and put it in this one. This is the broken gear. This is the one I replaced. Okay, and as you can see now, don't get me wrong. I know things happen. I have no idea how this happened. Let's see if I can. Right there. If you can see it right there. See that little stub of a piece of metal bar right there? That's supposed to be longer. That little bar is supposed to be longer than that, because I opened up the other ones to check it out to see if they all look the same. But this one was mad shorter, meaning that it snapped on the inside somehow. But that bar, this little metal piece that's sticking out right here, this little bar, let me see, right there, that little bar there, that's kind of like, it's no real use for, there's a use for it obviously, but the use is more or less like to stabilize it and like make extra connection from one end of the gear to the next, so it won't be hanging in the air spinning. But for some reason, this little bar snapped, and I don't know why, but anyway. So anyway, I took the good gear out of this one, and I replaced it into this one. So it moves smoothly now and everything. Now I'm at the part now where I'm about to put the screws back into it, and I'm gonna pop a battery into it. This is the battery. It goes in and fits both. Like I said, they're the same. And I'm gonna pop a battery into it, and then we're going to see if it works. All right. This will be my first ever drone interaction, and it's crazy because I get my hand on a drone for the first time, really, and personally, And here I am in the middle of doing repair. I did not plan for this, guys. This is all off the top. Now, I will say this. Both drones did come with a little bag of accessories, and in the bag you got like extra blades, you got the little brackets that cover the fans to help protect it when you fly, you bump into stuff, and you have a little screwdriver right here, a little screwdriver, precision screwdriver for all the little micro screws, But anyway, so yeah, this is my first attempt. This is my very first time doing this. I have never done this before, not with a drone or nothing, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, guys, I don't know if you've already heard, but I'm in the midst of developing and growing a drone business. And my drone business is going to be based and focused around, three main things: surveillance, and area coverage, aerial photography, and I'll be teaching people how to fly drones. But see, it's all a learning process. But it's not that I can't fly the drones. I fly drones well. It's just, this is more focused on the community, a community thing. Like, I can bring this to our young kids, you know what I mean? I can make a way in the community so, it could become like intertwined with school somehow, where they could come into the shop and come into an after school shop or something into my building where they can sit down and learn how to disassemble drones, put drones together, fly them, do basic maneuvers, things of that nature. That's my dream, because my thing is this: if a child's mind is constantly occupied, then the negative, evil things that the world has to offer don't have any room for it. You understand what I mean? To God be the glory. But that's my whole thing. I also have a GoFundMe campaign going, if you'd like to take a look at it, I'm not forcing anybody to donate or anything. Every piece of dollar that comes through donations, however, goes directly to business and business development, whether it be drones, drone parts, accessories, whether it be license and certificates for specific drones. This is all a process that I'm putting together, and of course their funds are needed, you know what I mean? But like I said, just share it with your family, share it with your friends. That's the best you could do, and pray for me, you know what I mean? But if you do find it in your heart to, don't donate a little bit toward the cause, please take a moment and check out my GoFundMe account. But I'll be getting back to you guys a little bit later, letting you know how this goes down. Like I said, this is my first time. So the goal, just to summarize it, everything, the goal was to take a good gear out of this and replace it in this one, this good one, because only the gear was messed up. To repair this one, I have to replace an entire motor with wires, and that requires soldering and everything. And the best alternative to this was just to replace the gear that was just going bad in this one. So I replaced the gear out of here and into here, and now I'm getting ready to stitch it back up, power it up. In the next video, we'll see whether my efforts was a pass or fail. So until next time, guys, just hold tight. God bless.